All right, hello everybody. This is Todd from the Table Ready podcast, and we're here today. What is it, June 5th?
Yeah.
And we're going to go over the balanced data slate for June. It just came out yesterday, so we're hoping we're going to get everything right in the first shot. I did bring Logan with me. He is our resident Tyrannid Blood Angels player, and he's excited about some of the changes, not only to the Blood Angels, but also to the Tyranids.
Yeah. Bro. I mean, I think they did get some pretty good changes.
I think so too. But we're going to go through the whole list, and I know this is a little bit off, and we'll get back to the Combat Patrol 2 Crusade episodes. But I always like to step in and just go over some of the small bits, the changes that happen in the rules, just so everybody's up to date on this. So if you want to, if okay with you, we'll just start that up.
Yeah.
All right. So the screen, we're going to start with, there really wasn't any core rule changes. Nothing that I saw that really changed. So really, we're just going to start right into the factions. And the first one's Adeptus Sororitas, our Sisters of Battle. And there's only really two changes that we saw. The first one being the Zephyrim squad. They got an enhancement to their embodied prophecy ability, which does give them, if they went on the turn that they made the charge, they get both sustained hits and lethal hits.
Yeah.
Sustained hits 1 and lethal hits.
But the ability only affects melee weapons.
Right, of course. And the other change that they did get was on the Retributor squad, and they got rerolls to hit as well as reroll wounds of 1. And then
if they've destroyed one or more,
right?
Oh, if one or more units are destroyed,
they add 1 to the hit roll and to the wound roll instead. So of course that makes Retributors more interesting, I think.
Yeah.
It's that little bit of an upgrade that really, really helps them out.
Yeah.
So I think that's
a
good step up for them. And of course, we'll get into the points in a little bit. And we're going to skip everybody that didn't really get changes.
Custodes is one of them.
AdMech got a couple changes. They got changes to the Cybernetica cohort detachment, and basically their basic detachment rule for that is you get plus to your movement characteristic, and for all the models that are Legio Cybernetica. Ooh, that's a mouthful sometimes. In addition to that, unless you're battle shocked, you add +1 to the OC, your objective controlled characteristic of the models in that. And I think that's a little bit of an improvement there.
Yeah.
Certainly the +2 to movement's fantastic.
Oh, yeah. I mean, movement's huge anytime. I mean, the best part about the +2 is if you don't want to use it, you don't have to.
Of course. So the other thing that they had to change was the Hallows Creed Battleclade. Detachment. And then just the enhancement in that is the one that's for the Cybernetica Datasmith, and that does give them bonuses when they're attached to the Castellan robots. So, and that's good. That's a good little rule for them. And of course, for your faction rules, that is included onto your Castellan robots and also your Cybernetica Datasmith. So it is nice when the detachment rule affects all the things that are in that detachment.
Yeah.
So after that, Eldari got a change with their devoted to Enid. Apparently everybody thought this was too tough because they got a lot of nerfs on the points for the Inari. Yeah, they really did. And then, of course, they also changed the detachment rule altogether. So your Inari infantry and mounted units from your army that was 6 inches of your destroyed unit, that unit can now make a normal move of die 6 plus 1. So they get them a little bit of a bump up there. So instead of 6 inches, you get a die 6 plus 1. Also, Erbane's Herald of Aneed ability, you can reroll wound roll 1 now.
Okay. Nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy. But there is some changes when you get to the points. That's where it's really going to hit.
Yeah.
Astra Militarum, the only thing that they really added is Lord Solar Leonidas. He can now order Titanic units. That's handy. Like Bane Blade, Shadow Swords, Storm Lord, stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
Anything that falls into the Titanic region. So there's a couple of them there. I don't think that there's anything that's like overwhelming at this point. Are we not on screen here? Oh, there we go. Maybe we weren't there. Maybe we were. I don't know. Computer issues. Yay. So the next thing that we did was, or we're going to, is Blood Angels. Tell us about Blood Angels, Logan.
Ooh, I kind of like this ability. It's a change the Black Rage, so that instead of, well, on top of like the chaplain being able to control them from 12 inches, a regular Blood Angels character within 6 inches can control them.
So that's nice because you don't need just the chaplain in there.
Yeah,
you
like
can use whatever.
Like you could have a Blood Angels character there who just controls them.
Like a Blood Angels captain.
Yeah.
Blood Angels captain with some Death Company. I think that's a great idea.
Doesn't that also mean you could do the Death Company captain?
You could do the Death Company captain. So you could actually add your Death Company captain in a squad and just put him within 6 inches of another squad, so he can control both of them.
That's pretty good.
Pretty nice, huh?
And I mean, I think it's pretty good just because, well, yeah, because you don't have to use the chaplain all the time.
Right.
And especially if they go, like, if they branch out a little, you can still have a character to control them.
Right. And I think that would work pretty nice. All right. What else do we got? What's after that? We got demons. So, of course, the big thing with demons, of course, if you watched last time, they changed the scintillating, what do they call it? The scintillating legion detachment. And, of course, they made a little bit of a change to that again. And all they really changed was the pyrogenesis stratagem cost. So change it to 1 CP. Not a big deal. I don't think it's anything exciting at all.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anything that's going to make or break your demons.
Yeah.
But of course, once we get to points, we'll see how that changes.
That is true.
Fair. Okay, so Chaos Space Marines. We're big fans of Chaos Space Marines here now, right?
Oh yeah, I've been doing a lot of research into them.
So as of Chaos Space Marines, we're going to, the first thing I think we're going to hit up is one of your favorite characters.
It's the Demon Prince. They got a new rule that if they're within 3 inches of any Heretic Astartes infantry units, he gets lone operative.
That increases the survivability of a Demon Prince.
Yes.
Exponentially.
And I'm thinking, like, what if you took like a winged Demon Prince and you just flew him from near infantry squad to the next one until you hit your target?
Right. Or if you really wanted to pair him up nice, you can just follow him, chase him around your Lord Discordant, who also got some serious rules changes. And he got a movement speed increase to 14 inches.
Ooh.
And they changed his invulnerable save to a 4+.
Ooh.
And of course, on top of that, if that wasn't enough, just wait, there's more. at the start of your I'm sorry, let's start with the corrupt machine spirit ability change 2. At the start of your shooting phase, please select one visible enemy vehicle, a unit within 12 inches of the model. Roll a die 6. On a 2 through 3, the enemy unit suffers die 3 mortal wounds. On a 4 through 5, they suffer 3. And on a 6, they suffer die 3 plus 3 mortal
that's
wounds.
good. I'd like to take the unit and just push him forward. Say, hey, vehicle unit, take this. And then if it's not dead, you keep shooting at it.
Absolutely. You just keep pushing that guy towards all your enemy units, all your enemy unit tanks. And yeah, enough said.
Yeah.
So he also got an upgrade to his Spirit Thief ability, and this is at the start of your shooting phase. Again, select one visible enemy vehicle unit. Enemy vehicle unit until the end of the phase. Each time a Heretic Asterius model attacks that target, you reroll wound rolls of 1.
That's pretty good.
So I think that might be a little bit of a clarification rule.
Yeah.
I think they just added the select one visible vehicle unit, not just the closest unit. And then, if that wasn't enough,
Vashtor, the Arctophane.
Yep, the Arctophane. And he's got vehicle damaging messing with rules.
Well, but first, he has if he's within 3 inches of a demon vehicle, he gets lone operative. Kind of like the demon
just
prince.
Like the demon prince. Well,
except
he's kind of a demon prince. So
yeah. Except
sense.
it's vehicles instead of infantry.
Right. His is just vehicles, and that's kind of where you want to put him, since he has special rules for vehicles.
Yeah.
And then he also got a change to the reorder reality ability. So this changed to each time an enemy unit within 18 inches of this model targets this model, subtract 1 from the hit roll until the end of the phase. That enemy unit's ranged weapons will also have hazardous ability now.
I think it was just hazardous before.
I think so too. So that gives you a -1 to hit, as well as smacking you with the hazardous.
Which, I mean, that's going to make him really good.
That's pretty crazy. Plus the Unholy Mechanisms ability. I don't know how they changed that, but while a friendly demon vehicle is within 6 inches of add +2 to the strength characteristic. Oh yeah, okay, so they added +2 to the strength characteristic. I think it was just +1 before.
That's pretty good.
I don't have this model yet, but he's definitely somebody that I kind of want to throw into the mix.
Oh yeah, Vashtor would be a good unit for Chaos Space Marine Army.
Yep, and they definitely increased his potential there.
Ooh, and his hammer got devastating wounds.
Yep, so he's got devastating wounds whether he strikes or sweeps now.
And then he changed his attack, certain stats about it. I don't know what they were before, but I think his sweep might have been 1.
Yeah, I think...
Because the strike, it couldn't have been 3.
I think the strike was -2. -2 AP. That's now -3. And the sweep, you got the devastating... it still has anti-vehicle 4+, but it also has the devastating wounds, and looks like strength 12 now.
They might have given him less attacks. Maybe.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and double check that. But if you're playing Vashtor, or if you were considering playing Vashtor, I think the changes are worthwhile.
Yeah.
Again, we'll see when we get to the points.
Yeah, but that's always a huge make or break.
So I'm going to put the blanket statement in, and Dark Angels did not really get rules changes, except for they changed up the Lion. So if you had your Lionel Johnson sitting on the shelf, I think now's the time to bring him back out.
Oh, no, I'm not. I don't think I'm ready for next battle.
And to be honest with you,
Can
since
you
I
play
played
Eldar?
mine, I haven't played them yet, but I think this is the incentive to actually bring them out and put them on the battlefield.
Next battle. Next battle, I'm probably going to be fighting him.
So the first thing, and I think probably the best thing to change for him, is his All Secrets Reveal ability changed to Mist Wreath's Shadow Realms. So basically, what this does is in your command phase, which how many things really happen in your command phase?
You get a command point.
You get a command point, right?
Or two.
There's a couple stratagems that you use in your command phase too.
Yeah.
Right, and you roll for your battle shocks and stuff like that. But this is in your command phase. If this unit is not within engagement range, so basically if the lion's not cutting the head off of somebody, you can pick them up and put them into strategic reserve. Now, the interesting part about this is, of course, you can take them out of strategic reserve in your movement phase. So you can pick him up and put him right back on the table somewhere else on the battlefield.
So it's like he teleports around. I think it is.
Yeah. And that's exactly what it's supposed to be. That's his Forest Walk ability. So definitely interesting.
Yeah.
I think I like it a lot. The other one, this Martial Exemplar. He got basically a friendly Asteres unit within 6 inches. Each time a model in that unit makes a melee attack, they get to reroll ones and hit rolls of 1 and wound rolls of 1. Not too shabby, right?
Pretty good.
And then the last thing is his Emperor's Shield ability. Each time an attack is allocated to this model, if the strength characteristic of the attack is greater than the toughness, you subtract 1 from the wound roll.
That's the...
So that changes it down from, like, if it's going to be a 3 or better, it's now back to a 4 or better.
Isn't that like the 1 detachment?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, the new detachment, I should say.
And we're going to get to that in a little bit, too.
Okay.
So, I guess we should put in here right now, they did get a new detachment as well as
Chaos Space Marines and the Tyranids.
And we're going to go over some of those in a little bit, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I think they're all pretty good, though.
I think so, too. So, a couple Death Gardener changed. Drakari got a little change. For the Reaper's Wager detachment, your Callous Competition detachment rule changed. Basically, this is the one where your Drakaris are Harlequins. Excuse me. Model from your army make an attack. If that model is winning the wager, reroll 1, hit rolls of 1. If the model's unit is losing the wager, you reroll hit of 1 and reroll the wounds of 1 instead. So I think that's the Grotness detachment for them, if I remember correctly. And that is basically you want to play Drakari or Harlequin, and they get different bonuses. Look it up. I'm not super familiar with it. I don't even have a Drakari player in my group, so if anybody wants to change that, you let me know. So after that,
Emperor's Children didn't get touched.
No, Emperor's Children didn't get touched. I think the next one we have that did was Grey Knights. And Grey Knights only got a minor change. So they got in their Warpbane Task Force detachment, their Hollow Ground detachment rule changed to each time a model in a Grey Knights unit from your army makes a ranged attack to targets that are visible, that of course was changed last time, or makes a melee attack. So it's ranged or melee now. I think that's what they changed there. Reroll a hit roll of 1, and if it's a purifier squad, then you can re-roll all hit rolls instead. I think that's a fair rule. Again, Grey Knights are kind of hard because I think there's only one person and they haven't had their Grey Knights out in a very long time. So nothing changed there. Leagues of Votann. So the only thing they really changed in Votann, and I'm gonna get Logan to say this name for it. What's the name of this guy?
Oh, Brocure.
The Brocure Iron Master.
Let's go with that.
And they changed this for Grimnir as well. Is that one easier, Grimnir?
Yeah.
Their little guy that comes with them. So Brocure's the little ECOG model.
He doesn't take up space in transport.
Right, and Grimnir, his CORV model, they don't take up space in a transport.
Nothing.
I don't know that was really needed to be called out, but I guess I'm sure there was some argument somewhere along the way. What else do we got here? Space Marines?
I don't think they got major changes.
Oh, wait, we missed Orcs. Hold on. Orcs got some changes.
Poor Orcs.
Oh. So the big thing with the Orcs is Cult of Speed Detachment. They can now shoot the Adrenaline Junkies Detachment rule. Not only can they fall back and shoot, they can now fall back and shoot and declare a charge. So whether they advance or fall back, they can still shoot. So that means they could charge.
Move, advance, declare a charge. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Or really, they could fall back.
And if they have assault weapons, they could fall back. Well, they would have to move. They could move, advance, shoot, and declare a charge. They can do it all.
That's kind of...
And, of course, the Squig Hop Boys, Tank Busters, Breaker Boys, Commando Squads, Squig Hog Boys, Bomb Squig ability, changed it to once per battle.
Okay.
So for each Bomb Squig that you have in the unit, after the unit ends its normal phase, you can use your Bomb Squig.
I think I should figure out what a Bomb Squig is. Because they sound kind of funny.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure they're hilarious. I don't know the rules off the top of my head, but we could probably look them up.
Yeah, I think Space Marines.
So Space Marines got a couple changes. Marnie is Calgar, his Master Technician ability. If he's your Warlord and is on the battlefield, you gain 1 CP.
It's not crazy.
Not on the battlefield, you get nothing.
Or if he's not your Warlord.
You get nothing.
Which I think is the change.
Yeah. And I think, was there a change to Gilliman?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, his Supreme Strategist ability is now once per battle round.
Instead of once per turn. They also did that with, like, the Hive Tyrant and stuff.
Correct.
I know it's skipping a little bit ahead, but it's the same thing.
Right. Okay, now for the big guy.
Oh, the Tau?
There's going to be a lot of reading involved with this, because Tau's got some
they got their whole army rule changed.
Right. So, for the greater good army rule, if your army faction is Tau, and I'm just going to read the whole thing just so we can level the whole playing field here. If your army faction is Tau, at the start of your shooting phase, you can select units from your army with this ability to become observer units. Right? I don't think too much change there. For each observer unit that is eligible to shoot, excluding fortifications and battle shock units, select one enemy unit that is visible to be marked as their spotted unit until the end of the phase. Units of your army, excluding observer units, are guided units while targeting one or more spotted units. All right.
I'm gonna need a summary after this.
Probably. Units for okay. Units until the end of the phase. Each time a model from your army with the greater good ability, excluding the observed units, makes an attack that targets a spotted unit. Improve the ballistic skill characteristic of that attack by 1. And the spotted unit was and if the spotted unit was marked by the observer unit that has the marker like keyword, the attack has the ignores cover ability.
So,
okay. So,
in summary,
go ahead.
So basically that means each guy can either be an observer or the other guy. Well, I don't think there is a term. They can either be the observer or not the observer. And basically, the observer picks one enemy unit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And says, "Oh, you're spotted." I think each one corresponds to each one. And the non-observer guys, they shoot. Oh, I think to hit, they hit a little better, right?
So
+6 skill.
Yes, they get +1 to hit.
And they ignore cover.
If they have marker lights.
Oh, if they have more. Okay.
So I think the way they changed it. So it was you used to pick an observer unit and then a guided unit. So your observer unit would help your guided unit spot the target. Okay.
Is it now like just a general thing?
Now they changed it so that your I forget observer unit. Your observer unit spots a unit, an enemy unit.
So
instead of picking one of your own units to guide their shots, you're now guided. So from what I understand is you could have multiple units fire at that target now.
So instead of guiding one guy, they guide everyone towards the opponent.
That's the way I'm reading it.
Okay, so it's kind of like.
It's kind of like what? It's kind of like Oath of the Moment.
I was going to say that. I'm like, it's kind of like Oath of the Moment. But then I'm like, it's kind of not.
It's kind of like Oath of the Moment, but you have to dedicate a unit to it.
Yeah. And then they don't get the benefit from it.
Right. So, but the nice thing is, let's say you're a Tau player and you're fighting against...
I'm not a Tau player.
Space Marines. Understood. But, so you could, your... whatever, let's say breachers. You could take your breachers and say, okay, I'm going to spot that squad of Hellblasters. Okay, Infernus Marines. Okay. Now everybody can shoot. Everybody's guided against that. Yeah, everybody's guided in that against that unit, and we'll get +1 to hit.
Except for the observers.
Well, except for the observer, can't shoot.
Oh, like what?
Yeah.
Really?
So it says, let me go back here. If your army faction, you can select one of your units from your army with this ability to become observers. For each observer unit that is eligible to shoot, select one enemy unit that is visible to be marked as their spotted unit until the end of the phase. Units from your army are guided, excluding observer units, are guided. Actually, it doesn't say they can't shoot, but
so I think they can shoot. They just don't get the bonus. So they suck at shooting.
Right. Wow, that's a change. I kind of like that.
It's probably pretty good. I mean, I don't play Tau. I know someone who plays Tau.
Yeah, your brother.
Yeah, but he also plays Necrons.
Okay.
Which doesn't mean anything.
Well, that's kind of cool. So after that, they did change a bunch of the items that pertain to that. So in your Kayun detachment, your Patient Hunter detachment rule, they did include Kayun, of course, gives you the sustain hits 1 across your army. In addition, while a unit is guided, C for the greater good rule. Each time a ranged attack is made by a model in that unit that targets a spotted unit, you can ignore any and all modifiers to attack ballistic skill
you could
characteristics
or
modifiers to the hit roll.
So you could ignore stealth or something.
Correct.
Ooh, that's pretty
correct. Good. And then through Unity Devastation Enhancement, what did they change there?
I
don't know what they changed.
I don't know what they changed there.
Same there. All right, so we'll just skip over those. Fireside teams, they got to change their precise targeting ability. Each time a model in this unit makes an attack that targets a spotted unit, you can just re-roll the hit roll. Pathfinders, they get an upgrade as well.
If they attack a spotted unit, improve the ballistic skill by
1, and they get ignores cover.
Okay, so that's pretty good.
Stealth battle suits.
I don't know what they should. A guided unit.
Right.
Each time a range attack is made by a model in a guided unit, it targets them. Reroll a hit roll 1, wound roll 1.
Okay. So nothing crazy. Everything's just kind of based off that change in their army rule. And I think it's actually a good change.
Yeah.
I really do. So the next big one.
Thousand Suns. They got nothing.
No. How about Tyranids?
Yeah, they got a bunch of changes.
Let's see.
Actually, I think they just got 2.
They got 2 big ones, right?
Which they got the Hive Tyrant, the Will Hive Mind ability. So basically, it's once per battle round instead of once per turn.
And what does it do?
Basically, when a friendly Tyranid unit within 12 inches is targeted with a stratagem, reduce the CP cost of it by 1.
So they're essentially like a captain.
Yeah, effectively.
In a sense. All right. And what else changed?
The Psychophage. It now moves 12 inches, giving it, I think, a little bit more of a speedier boost, because I think it was 10 previously.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 10.
But they gave him a completely new ability, I think.
Sounds right.
It says change, but... So basically, the ability is, in your shooting phase, if the model is shot, select one enemy unit hit by one of the attacks. Until the end of the turn, each time a Tyranid's unit makes a melee attack against it, improve the armor penetration by 1, and they can only be affected once per turn. And then
the coolest thing is, I thought this was a fascinating addition, is they gave him the keyword smoke.
So he can throw a smoke bomb.
Right. He can use a smoke screen and cover himself from being shot at.
That's
pretty cool. You didn't think of that, did you?
I mean, I don't know what smoke screen does. I should read up on that.
So smoke screen, it's a stratagem, but you have to have the smoke ability.
It's like grenade, kind of.
Right. It's just like you use it like grenade, except it gives you, I believe, either a cover save or it gives you stealth. And I would have to look it up to be 100% sure. I don't use it a whole lot, but
I can look at it at some. Ooh, they also changed the tentacle maw.
What did they change it to?
They changed its attacks to 6. I forget what it was before.
And they gave it AP -2.
Yeah, AP -2. I
think it was -1 before.
Yeah, I think they might have reduced the attacks.
But a better AP is really good.
Oh yeah. And then there's the new. Oh yeah. And then later on we got the new attachment.
And we'll talk about that in a little bit.
And then world leaders, they got nothing.
So basically, what we talked about are the changes that we saw. The factions that did not get changes were Adeptus Custodes, Chaos Knights, Imperial Knights. I don't know why that is.
Yeah.
Death Guard didn't get any changes. Of course, they just got a new codex. Death Watch didn't get a change, but last time they just got rules, so I guess we're okay with that. Gene Stealer Cults didn't really get a change. Imperial Agents didn't get a change. Necrons didn't really get a change. Thousand Suns and World Eaters
Nothing.
just came out with new codexes, so we didn't really get anything there. So let's go over some points real quick. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think some of these are cool. I know the Psychophage is an important one.
All right, so we're just going to run down the line here a little bit. I'm not going to go deep into any of these. I just want to kind of touch on them.
Yeah. For the Blood Angels, I want to touch on some stuff.
Right. So to start off with is Adeptus Sororitas. They got bumps. They got decreases in points. Sorry, I was trying to think of a clever way to say it, but it didn't come out. Everything they got was a decrease in points,
which is usually good.
So what did we get a decrease in points in? Castigators, Paragon Warsuits, Repentia, Retributor Squads, Seraphim, the Triumph of St. Catherine, the Immolators, Junith. Everything went down, mostly 10 points each, give or take. Next, the Custodes. Your basic Custodians went down. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it for them. Admech, we did get changes.
Did we?
Did we? Oh, yeah. We got changes in the Iron Strider, the Scorpius Disintegrator, the Hell's Creed. Oh, that's just the enhancement. We also got changes on the price drops on the Dragoons.
I feel like the last thing I need is a point decrease.
Oh no, I think it's for balancing.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess that's fair, but they're very cheap units.
Hello, Big A. Thanks for watching. And then we got Titanicus. Nobody cares. Eldari, they got a lot of changes, some ups, some downs. Let's see, what are the big ones? The Artark went up a couple points, 10 points. 4 Warlocks went up 20 points. But 2 Warlocks didn't change at all. Shining Spears went down. Sorry. Warwalkers went down. And Fire Dragons went up at a 5-man squad. Fire Prisms went down. And Howling Banshees went up. I don't really see why Howling Banshees went up, but I guess people were taking advantage of it.
The Inari.
The Inari changed. All the Inari characters went up, including the Inkaran, the Archon, the Incubi. All foreseeable, I think.
Yeah.
I don't really play the
Inari,
so it doesn't matter too much to me. Astra Militarum, big ones here. Bulgrams went back down in price, so I'm okay with that because I like my Bulgrams. Leman Russ went up 10 points. Just the basic battle tank went up 10 points. I think it's in a good spot, so plus 10, minus 10, I think that's fine. The Taurox went up. I know there's been a lot of stuff going on with Tauroxes. The Tempest Aquilans, that's the Kill Team box. They got a little cheaper. Ursula Creed went up. That's the special character. Deathcore Krieg went up on a 20-man squad. I don't really know why. Death Riders got cheaper, though. I think that's all fine. I don't think it's anything that's a real problem one way or the other.
Templar got some changes.
What changed with the Black Templars? What do you got?
High Marshal
Helbrecht.
He went down 10 points.
Your Crusader squads went down. The big one.
Yeah, a 20 Primaris Crusader squad went down by 10. Captain Grimdalis. Oh, Chaplain Grimdalis went down by 10 points.
Grimaldus, yeah.
Grimaldus?
Yeah. And then your
Sword Brother
Brothers went down. They actually went down quite a bit for a 10-man squad. They went down 30 points.
And only 10
I think they were pretty pricey, though. So, all my Black Templar players,
woohoo!
Today's a good day.
Ooh, and for all my Blood Angel players,
this is you.
It's a good day, too.
Tell us what changed point-wise in the Blood Angels.
Asterath, my one epic hero, he went down by 10 points. Pretty good. The Ball Predator went down by 10. Mephiston went down by 15 to 120. Dante went down by 10.
Right.
The Death Company Dreadnought went down by 20. Jump Pack Death Company, they went down. Lamardes went down by 10. And what I think is neat, the Sanguinary Guard went down.
And they went down 20 points each for 3 or for 6. That's a good price drop.
Oh, yeah. Well,
especially if you're playing like the 1,000 point, like your Crusade, you can now
deep strike a 6-man.
Isn't that pretty cool?
Yeah. I mean, last battle I was going to deep strike them, but they were 10 points over.
Yeah.
And this is what I think is neat. The Sanguinary Priest went down by 15. Down to 75 points. It was originally 90, which was super pricey, in my opinion. So I'm so glad to see him down to at least 75. Now I'm going to consider using him a bunch.
Yeah. I think he's better in line with the other apothecaries anyways.
Yeah. I mean, the regular one's like 50, but the Biologist is like 70. That's it for the Blood Angels.
All right. Demons, I don't think. Oh, yeah.
Nurglings.
Sorry. Everybody's Nurglings got more expensive. I'm going to hit it here once, and then we're going to be done with it.
Yeah.
Anybody that can take Nurglings, they got more expensive.
Weren't they spammed?
Everybody was spamming Nurglings because they're little infiltrating pain in the rears. Right?
Yeah, I feel like most armies have them.
Yeah. But none of them were as good as Nurglings.
Yeah.
So, price increase, that's fine. Not a Nurgling player, so I think it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we have someone who could use Nurglings, though.
Yeah. Detachments, the Slaughter Thirst went down 10 points. In the Shadow Legion, they got some of their enhancements went up. Chaos Knights, I don't think anything changed, but they got a Codex on the way.
Chaos
Space Marines.
The Captain with a Jump Pack went down. Master Possession.
Yeah, Master Possession went down. Dark Apostle went down.
And then Felgor Beastmen and the Traitor Enforcers.
Right, they all went down. So looks like on average everybody's gonna put a couple more models in their army. Not a lot, but all right. So next, Dark Angels. Nothing changed. Everything's in a good place right now. So, and I can agree with that. I think we're right on the cusp. Lionel Johnson's 315. Still just, I'd like to see him just a little cheaper, but I'm a little biased in this one.
I don't.
So that means he's in a good spot.
Yo, with those upgrades, I do not want to see him.
That's true. He did get a lot of upgrades for.
And the worst part is, I have 2 melee armies.
Yep.
Fighting him would not be fun.
Right. So Death Guard, of course, the Nurglings changed. They went up in price. Death Watch, no changes. Drakari, they got a couple changings, and I think everything's cheaper on them. Mandrakes, Raiders, Ravagers all went down in price. And the Venoms went down in price.
Oh, they're cheap. Whew.
Yeah, Venoms are actually pretty cheap.
Actually, they're all pretty cheap.
65, yeah.
Actually, a pretty cheap army.
Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, your Archons are 85. You know, I don't want to go over all this right now, but
Yeah, we can discuss this later.
Right, we can hit those when we do a Drakari episode.
Yeah.
But even surprisingly, like the Void Raven Bomber's 235 points. So Emperor's Children, basically the Demon Prince with wings went up in price
by 20.
Fulgrim went down.
Mm.
Oh no, an extra excuse to play Fulgrim. Lucius went up though. Noise Marines went up. That's pretty much it for them. Gene Stealer Colts, only the Italian Jackals. Ooh, I wanted to keep going on that. The Adelan Jackals went down in price. Everything else kind of stayed the same. Grey Knights, the Brotherhood Champion got cheaper. I think that's about
and
it.
And Terminator Squad.
That's right. And the Terminators and the Paladin Squad got cheaper.
But only the Paladin 10-man and only the Terminator 10-man.
Yeah. Which they're pretty pricey, so they probably could use it.
Actually, I think they just made it so that it's like double for the 10-man instead of more than double in price.
That's fair. Imperial Agents, I don't think changed. No. Nothing changed there. Nothing changed with Imperial Knights. That's okay. We saw previews of a Codex coming out. In fact, the Combat Patrol is now on the app if you want to play Combat Patrol.
It's just Armigers. Or
pretty interesting the way they did them, huh?
I mean, that does make it the cheapest Combat Patrol. But it's probably the most... not the most expensive army to get into.
Not really,
but easily
take that many models.
But easily the highest price spike.
Yeah.
You know, you can't. Oh look, I get $60. Let me get a box.
No, nothing $60. Even the Armigers are 90.
100
for two.
Yeah, it's like 100 for two.
All right, so Necrons. Mike will be pretty. Oh no, that's right. He doesn't have the regular destroyers. He's got a heavy destroyer, so he'll be okay. Locust Destroyers went up 5 points, just for a single one. The Doomstalker got cheaper. The Wraiths got cheaper. I think that's a good deal too. The Deathmarks got cheaper. All your Mancers got cheaper. Your Plasmancer, your Techmancer, and Illuminor Xeris got cheaper as well.
All I know about Wraiths is they don't like Sanguinary Guard.
You'll have to wait and see when they get the jump on you.
Oh, I probably will.
Scorpic Lord, up 10 points.
Ouch.
Orcs. What do we got for Orcs?
The Rucka Truck Squig Buggy.
What else you got?
Shock Jump Dragster.
And the last one?
The Squig Hog Boys.
And what happened with them?
They all went down.
Okay.
Also, the Custom Booster Blaster.
That went down as well. And what about this guy?
Boomdaka Snazwagon. Yo, what are these names? And the Mega Strack Scrapjet.
Yep. That went down too.
And the Death Copters.
Oh, that one's an easy one. All right.
Yeah.
So those are what went down. What about the ones that went up?
Oh, Big Mech with Shock Attack Gun. The Tank Busters, the Truck, the Looters, like boys.
Regular boys did.
And Zodgrod Wartsnag. And the Flash Gits.
It's nice introducing Logan to orc names. So they got a lot of sweeping changes. A lot of ups, a lot of downs.
And I thought Necron names were bad.
They did some serious internal balance is what they did. Space Marines.
Ooh, Aggressors got cheap.
Aggressors got cheaper.
Ooh, good reason to pick up some.
Heavy Intercessors got cheaper. Ooh. Hellblasters got cheaper. The Captain with the Jump Pack got cheaper.
Oh, good reason to pick him up.
Old Marnius Calgar got cheaper. That's crazy because he got a rules update.
Yeah.
And he got cheaper, so they really balanced him out. Who else got cheaper? The Vanguard Vets squad got cheaper.
That's pretty cool.
And of course,
Gilliman
got cheaper. And I honestly think Gilliman's probably at the best spot right now. 320 points. I think he's in a really good place.
Yeah.
He's only 5 points more than the Lion. And he has all those rules that are army-wide.
I think it'd be cool to see a Primarch battle. At least to that level. Obviously, it wouldn't be lore accurate, but...
well, you never tell. Never can tell. I mean in the lore currently, Lionel Johnson and Gilliman haven't been at the same place at the same time, so
I guess that's true.
There's always room for possible lore additions, shall we say. All right, so Space Wolves. Yeah, they just got a new book, or no? I'm sorry.
I think they
get a new book this weekend. So, or at least they're still on pre-order. Let's put it that way. So we'll probably see an update after the codex comes out. The nice thing is they do have. If you were interested, I think I saw it in here.
What?
I don't know. I think these are still old rules.
Oh.
Yeah, because they don't have the head takers in here, do they?
I don't see them.
No, I don't see them either.
Well,
yeah,
probably
so I think these are the old rules. All right, so they didn't get updates, but that's because these are not the current rules. Wait, what? Oh, that's Index Space Wolves.
Here they are.
So the things that change for Space Wolves. Let's start that over.
Yo.
It helps to pay attention, right? Bjorn got 10 points cheaper. Grey Hunters. And if you haven't got an idea of some of the stuff for the codex, let's go over a couple things, why don't we? So some of the things that have changed, you're going to have Blood Claws in 10 or 20-man squads. Or I shouldn't say change, but things that we're seeing here as far as the points. Grey Hunters are all going to be 10-man squads. No 5-mans, no 20-mans. Okay. Iron Priests, which are their Tech Marines, 60 points. That's not too bad. The new big old Logan Grimnar, that fabulous new model, 110 points. That's crazy. Because that would be a model. If I was a Space Wolf player, I would have to have that model.
Yeah, that's like Blood Angel.
Since he got off of Santa's sled, he grew up a little bit, and the two wolves going around him. That's such a beautiful model.
That's like average epic character.
Yeah. Murderfang still exists. Yay, we like Murderfang. Nail Stormcaller, he's still around. That's their chief.
Yeah.
I don't want to say librarian, but their rune priest. Ragnar Blackmane, 90 points. That's not too bad. Thunderwolf Cav, 3 for 100, 6 for 220. So they're going up a little bit. Wolfen with the Storm Shields. Interesting.
They want
a Wolfen Dreadnought.
Ooh.
I didn't know there was a Wolfen Dreadnought. Is there a Wolfen Dreadnought in the index? Hold please while we look this up. I do not see a Wolfen Dreadnought.
Yes.
Oh yeah, there was. Never mind.
But he did. I think he went up at least 30 points.
Wolfen Dreadnought was 130. The new Wolfen Dreadnought is 145. All right. So Wolfen are going up in price. The Wolf Priest is normal. Wolfguard Terminators, if you want some Wolfguard Terminators, they're actually going to be a little cheaper. The new Head Takers at their first showing, or before their first showing, have already gone down in price. Again, those are another gorgeous models that they just came out with.
Head Takers.
Venerable Dreadnought's still around, and Ulrich's still around.
Oh, they're weirdly ordered. They're They're those kinds of models. Like,
what's that? The head takers?
Well, because they have other little things.
They have hunting wolves that are with them.
Yeah.
So you can have just the head takers, 3 wolves, 3 head takers plus 3 wolves, 6 head takers plus 6 wolves, or 6 just head takers. So a lot of different options with them. I think they're really cool models too, and the fact that they're a mixed squad, I think that makes them pretty interesting. So that's Space Wolves. Tau, with their whole rules change for the army,
their battle suits and their carnivores got more. Like Kroot carnivores got more expensive.
Yeah, the stealth battle suits got more expensive at a 3-man squad, and the 20-man Kroot carnivores went up in price. And for a complete rework of the rules as written and no points changes, might be very interesting.
I'm going to agree with that.
I think they're kind of in a good place. I think the rewrite of the rules is going to make a lot more people come out and play them.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see some Tau combat in our home.
Right? Thousand Suns, nothing changed.
But they just
got a codex last weekend.
Tyranids.
What you got for Tyranids?
The Swarm Lord went down by about 20 points. The Hive Tyrant and the Winged Hive Tyrant both went down by 30. The Hive Guard went down a bit. Screamer Killer, they went down. But with the new rule with the Psychophage, they actually went up 15 points.
Which I don't think is fair. I don't think that's a bad thing, because they really, for the amount of upgrade on the rules that they got, 15 points isn't going to kill them.
The only thing that I don't love about it is that it kind of takes it out from being that super cheap monster role into a different role.
He's still only 110 points.
Yeah. But, previously he was just, 95 points. Come on, that's cheap.
Right. That is cheap.
At least for a monster.
Right.
And then
World Eaters got no changes. So, again, they just came out with a new codex. I think they're probably in a pretty good spot. If you're interested, Angeron's about 385 points. And I'm just mentioning him because he's like one of those must-have. I think the amazing thing is the Lord on the Juggernaut is only 90 points. What an impressive model for not that many points. For under 100 points.
Yeah, the guy on
and even the special character one is only 20 points more than that. Karn, 85 points. Again, I think he's pretty cheap for essentially a Chaos Lord with all kinds of special rules. So,
actually, I think a Chaos Lord is more expensive than Karn.
They don't have a normal Chaos Lord, do they?
No, but Chaos Lord for Chaos Space Marines is 90. I've done my research.
Let's see here.
I hope I'm not wrong. Nah, I'm right.
Chaos Demons. Chaos Knights.
Chaos Lord.
Chaos
90.
Lord is 80. Chaos Lord is 90, yeah.
Yeah, the jump pack's cheaper.
Yeah.
But it's the guy in the jump pack.
Okay. So, what do you think, Logan? You want to go over these new detachments?
Yes.
All right. So, let's check out these new detachments. So, I did want to just add in here, they did update the chapter-approved tournament champion. I think we can cover that on a different episode.
Oh, yes. 52 pages.
There's 52 pages of changes, and it's a lot to go on. Check it out. They do have some good information on there, and that's on the Warcom site if you're interested. So let's start with Tyranids.
That's a fair choice.
Because I think that's the one that you are most involved with.
I think this one's pretty cool. So its major rule, well, its general rule is each time a Tyranids model from your army makes an attack, reroll a hit, roll a 1. And it doesn't say like melee attack, range attack, all attacks. I think that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Also, I think.
Go ahead.
Let me. Here it is. The rule. So, keywords. The Moloch and Trigon have the Burrower keyword. This is important for later.
Right.
In the muster army step, you can pick 2 Trigon models to be from your army to be characters, which means you can choose one of them to be your warlord, give them enhancements. I think that's pretty good because I love my Trigon.
That's pretty cool. And then each time a burrower unit from your army is set up on the battlefield from reserves, you place a circular 40 millimeter tunnel marker anywhere on the battlefield within 1 inch of the unit or more than 3 inches horizontally away from all enemy units. And in the reinforcement step of your movement phase, when you set up a unit on the battlefield from reserves, you can set up within 9 inches of one of those tunnel markers.
Oh, and then,
and more than 6 inches horizontally away from an enemy unit.
So it basically says you can set up a Trigon somewhere. Say, hey, here's a Burrower token.
Right.
And then, can this be turn 1?
Probably not, because it would come in from strategic reserves, so it would probably be turn 2, 3, 4.
Oh yeah. Oh, but basically you make a tunnel. So basically it comes out of the ground.
Right. So
and then
they don't deep strike; they come out from under the ground.
So basically they come out from under the ground. They create a hole, and all of his friends can come out too.
Right.
But they can come out within 6 inches instead of 9.
Right. Think of Starship Troopers when the big worms come out of the tunnels.
Okay, I love the Trigons. I love. Now, here's the thing. If an enemy model, excluding aircraft, ends any kind of move within 3 inches of your tunnel markers, it's removed from the battlefield.
So basically, they can go over and kick the dirt back in the hole.
Yeah, which, I mean, kind of sucks, but oh well.
Yep.
But, I mean...
But think of that's an amazing ploy for you as a Tyranid player. You bust that Trigon or Moloch out of the hole, and now the enemy's going to want to get to that hole. So if you put the hole behind your Trigon, you're going to force the enemy to charge into you or get really close to you.
And the Trigons and the Molochs and even the new Raveners get the rule. The new kill team ones.
Right. Are they hyper?
Well, there's hyper adapted ones and there's the regular ones, but the regular ones come in a squad of 5.
Right.
So, but they both have the Burrower rule, which means you could put Trigon. Oh, you could put. First of all, you can have Trigons come out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, does that mean you can set up? Does that mean you could set up somewhere like a Trigon, and on the same turn, the other guys can come out? Does that mean you could create a wall?
Let me see here.
So I think it says
each time a burrower unit from your army is set up on the battlefield
from reserves,
place a circular template. In the reinforcement step of your movement phase, when you set up a unit on the battlefield from reserves, you can set up a unit. I don't see anything that does say that has to be next turn.
I mean, the only thing that...
So you would have to bring your Moloch or Trigon in first.
Well, actually, when they update the new Raveners, because I think they have Burrower automatically.
Okay.
I think you could technically do that for them.
That would be fair.
So they could burrow up, and then you could shove your Trigon in.
Right.
Oh no, free strategies. Ah.
Don't listen to him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. All right, let me see. We got the Raveners here. Raveners have keywords.
Burrowers.
They are burrowers. Raveners.
Now, the difference about these the new ones, is they come in squads of 5 instead of 3.
Yep, and the hyper adaptive ones are burrowers as well.
I want to get them hyper adapted ones. They look kind of cool.
So
and they also, actually, the hyper adapted ones seem to lead as a squad of 5.
Yeah.
So you can put a squad of 5 hyper adapted ones with a squad of 5 not hyper adapted ones.
Are they both squads of 5 now?
Yeah.
Raveners were always 3. I thought they were 3, weren't they?
They were 3.
5. Ah, nice.
No.
Take that, Space Marines.
And they also got the new model, so.
Very cool.
Huge thing if you like your Trigon.
All right. So, real
Ooh.
I'm
Trigon
sorry.
Prime.
So,
Hello.
These are the enhancements.
Oh.
The enhancements for it. You get Synaptic Strategy, which is it's Tyranid model only, obviously. Once per battle, you can target the bearer's unit with the Rapid Ingress Stratagem for 0 CP.
Oh, wait.
So that would be pretty cool. So you could drop your...
Oh, no, but you can only...
What?
Oh, wait. You could actually use the Rapid Ingress turn 1, right? To create the hole so they don't move. And then your next phase, in the reinforcement step, you can get the other guys.
When you do Rapid Ingress, you come in at the end of your opponent's movement phase.
Yeah. So you could do that at the end of your opponent's.
And then come on your... And the rest of yours on yours. Sure.
Which then counters them to kick off the dirt.
Right.
Which means
very true.
You're gonna get them in.
So that would be an enhancement that you like. Tremor Senses is pretty decent. After both players have deployed their armies, select up to 3 friendly Tyranid units, and you get to redeploy them. That's kind of handy. We don't have the points there. Probably should have grabbed them while we were looking. But that's okay. We just go over the rules here. Vanguard Intellect, which Tyranid models with Deep Strike ability only. The bearer's unit can be set up using Deep Strike ability in the reinforcement step of your first, second, or third phase.
Regardless of
your mission rules. So you would actually want to use that to bring them out on the first turn.
And then you
could use your Rapid Ingress idea. That's a good one too. And of course, the last one is Trigon Prime, which can only be used on a Trigon. Shocker. The bearer gains the Synapse keyword, and then improve the strength and weapon skill characteristic of the melee weapons equipped by the bearer by 1.
You know, my Trigon used to be a Trigon Prime, and then he was demoted.
And now he can again.
Yeah!
So, and of course, they got 6 stratagems like normal.
I think I actually might want to use this one a little bit.
I think this one would fit your playstyle.
I would need more Raveners, though. I would need more Raveners.
Oh, no, more Raveners.
Well, I don't have any.
Oh, no, more Tyranid models.
Yay!
All right. So, real quick, adaptive optimization is 1 Moloch or Trigon. At the start of your command phase, you can give them Synapse.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Replenishing Swarms is 1 CP. It's in your movement phase. 1 Tyranid unit from your army, wholly within 9 inches of 1 or more of the tunnel markers that you placed. 1 model in your unit regains die 3 plus 1 lost wounds, or can return die 3 up to die 3 plus 1 destroyed models with a wound characteristic of 1. So that's cool. More bugs come out of the holes.
Or more bugs regenerate.
Right.
Out of the
or
holes.
They heal. Of course, that does rely on them being next to that hole marker.
I would love to use this attachment against Tau.
Enfilading Emergence, that's a word. It's at the end of your movement phase. One Tyranid unit from your army that was set up as reinforcements this turn. Until the end of your next fight phase, weapons equipped with this model have sustain hits 1 and ignore covers 1. Very nice. That's not a bad one for 1 CP. Tunnel Network. 1 CP again at the end of your movement phase. One or more Tyranid units from your army that is wholly within 9 inches of one or more of the tunnel markers, and you get to remove your unit from the battlefield and set it up again wholly within another tunnel unit. Tunnel marker.
Multiple tunnel markers?
Yeah, if you got multiple Trigons, Reveners, or Molochs.
I mean, my only thing is you need a lot of points into Deep Strike. Like that seems like the flaw.
Well, you got to think a lot of games are 2,000 point fights.
That is true.
So you could put a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, I usually play 1,000 points.
We're getting you there.
Yeah, I mean, I think I just got. Actually, I have a good amount of points.
Yeah. Swarming Assault is the next one at 1 CP. This one happens in your charge phase. This one targets a Tyranid monster that was set up in your reinforcement phase, and basically until the end of the phase, friendly Tyranid units within 6 inches can reroll the charge rolls. So you bring a unit in, everybody around it can now charge.
Oh, that's actually pretty good.
And last one is Retreat Below. And it happens at the end of your opponent's fight phase. And this is the 1 Tyranid unit or up to 2 Burrower units in your army that is not within engagement range. You can remove that unit from the battlefield and place it in reserve.
So you can Deep Strike again.
And make another hole.
Ooh.
If it's a Burrower. What do you think of that?
That's pretty good. You could get... Imagine just a Trigon. Or actually, you could probably redeploy in the hole.
Yeah, you could. You could redeploy out of the same hole. If you wanted to. Alright, real quick. We're going to hit the Cabal of Chaos.
Yeah.
That's a new detachment for Chaos Space Marines. They get, each time a unit from your army makes a Dark Pact, select one of the following abilities. The unit has this ability until the end of the phase.
So we either got Leaping Warp Flame or Monstrous Manifestation. Leaping Warp Flame, while the unit is within 9 inches of one or more Psyker models, you improve the strength characteristic of the ranged weapon by 1. In Monstrous Manifestation, while the unit is within 9 inches of one or more friendly Demon Princes or Winged Demon Princes, improve the armor penetration by the melee weapons by 1.
Very nice.
Yeah, and the other one was specifically ranged weapons.
Right. Empiric Wells.
Yeah.
Or Leaping Warp Flame. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. They got enhancements with this, which is
Touched by the
Warp. The bearer gains the Psyker keyword if you give them Touched by the Warp.
Ooh.
Eye of Zadesh. I'm sorry, you were going to say something.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think it'd be pretty cool. You could have like a Chaos Lord and he's just a Psyker.
Yeah.
I mean, you could even just put into lore like, oh yeah, this guy was just a Psyker. I mean, he doesn't use any psychic abilities,
but it makes all his attacks psychic. Which has pluses and minuses, so.
Yeah.
Eye of Zadesh, Heretic Asterius models only. Units in the bearer's unit have Scout, 6 inches.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty handy. Mind Blade is for Psychers only, and it gives them the Lance ability on their melee weapon.
It's
okay. especially if you're using it to, your Psyker to charge. I think it would be really good on a Demon Prince or something like that.
Yeah.
And the last one, Infernal Avatar, and that's for Demon Princes and Demon Princes with wings. You can improve the strength characteristic by 2 of their melee weapons, and improve their armor penetration by 1.
That'd be pretty cool to run with a Demon Prince.
That wouldn't be bad at all.
I mean, especially if you like them as a Demon Prince.
They got a couple stratagems, obviously, the same 6, like usual. They got Baleful Blessing, which is any phase just after your unit in your army has a mortal wound allocated to it. Until the end of the phase, models in your units have feel no pain, 5+ against mortal wounds.
That's okay.
That's okay. It's reactive. I think it's very touch and go. No Rest in Death is in your movement phase. 1 Heretic Asterius unit for your army within 9 inches of a Psyker of some sort. Psyker.
Demon Prince or Demon Prince.
Asterius Psyker. Yeah, Demon Prince or Demon Prince with wings. And the effect is 1 model in that unit regains up to die 3 + 1 lost wounds.
Ooh.
Mutation's Curse is in your shooting phase, and that targets a Heretic Asterius Psyker, and that tosses some mortal wounds out.
Wait, but I think that's just the ability, whatchamacallit, that Terminator Sorcerer gets.
Very well possible.
Yeah, I think so.
This one, the Curse?
Yeah.
Curse. I think so too. But it's nice that you can use it as a stratagem. You can use it from anybody.
Yeah, that's fair.
Soul Seekers is in your shooting phase. 1 Heretic Asterius unit from your army. I should just start cutting that out because it just takes forever. Their ranged weapons that they're equipped with have ignores cover. Unholy Haste
1 infantry
is in your
unit.
Charge phase. Any of your infantry units, before it's selected to charge, of course, they can declare a charge in a turn in which they advance.
Okay.
That's handy.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And then the last one is Shroud of Chaos. This is your opponent's shooting phase. Basically, any Psyker, Demon Prince. Until the end of the phase, your unit has the following ability, which is Shroud of Chaos. Models in a friendly unit within 6 inches of this unit has the stealth ability.
Okay.
So basically, you can throw a stealth aura out on one of your Psykers or Demon Prince.
That sounds like a pretty cool detachment to play, especially if you like sorcerers and demons.
I think so too. So then the last one, and the one that I'm kind of excited about here,
The Wrath of the Rock.
Wrath of the Rock.
Look, is that like the bald guy?
No. It's the island. It's the jail in San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
Welcome to the Rock. Terrible Sean Connery. Anyway, so new detachment for Dark Angels. And this might be another reason to pull out your lion. Oh. So this one is each time an attack targets your infantry or mounted units from your army. If the strength characteristic of the attack is greater than toughness characteristic, you subtract 1 from the wound roll. That's very handy. Just as a basic detachment roll.
Yeah, it's a very simple detachment.
It is. I like that a lot. Straight and to the point. Their enhancements. Adeptus Asterius models only tempered in battle, which is an aura. While a friendly Dark Angels will say unit is within 6 inches of the models, you can reroll battle shock and leadership tests taken. I like this because this is opposite of their original detachment. Their original detachment was if you got battle shocked, you got bonuses. This is the exact opposite, where you're going to stop being battle shocked.
Oh, that means if I were to unleash Shadow of the Warp, you'd have a better chance against it.
Right. Ancient weapons. This improves the characteristics of melee weapon. The strength characteristic of melee weapons equipped by the bearer by +2. Improves the armor penetration and damage by 1.
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
Very handy.
I would like to play that on like a unnamed captain you like. I mean, you'd probably name him because you like him.
Probably, yeah. Deathwing Assault. This is just for Deathwing with Deep Strike. I think all not all. Technically, not all death. Okay, so this basically your Terminators and such. Basically, the bearer's unit can be set up in Deep Strike first, second, or third movement phase, regardless of the mission rules. So that means you can have that nice Deathwing Assault.
Oh, and then the Trigon can too.
Right. And then Lord of the Ravenwing is for a Ravenwing model. And you can reroll advance and charge rules made for the bearer's unit. That's pretty handy. Now, of course, this I think is some of the interesting stuff is the stratagems. And we do have Escapable Justice, which is 2 CP, which happens in any phase just after your Oath of Moment target is destroyed. And the nice thing about this is you can select one unit within 12 inches visible of your unit, and that enemy becomes your Oath of Moment target until the start of the next command phase. So basically, you get a second Oath of Moment target.
That's pretty
just
cool.
like Gilliman's ability.
Oh, not Gilliman.
Lion's Will. It is a 2 CP, so I think it's going to be
kind of pricey.
It's kind of pricey, but if there's that unit that you really just want to get rid of, that's a good way to do it. Your Lion's Will, that happens in your command phase. You target one of your units of your army that is within engagement range. Until the start of your next command phase, you add +1 to the OC, the objective control characteristic of the models, and in addition, until the end of the turn, if your unit does not have Deathwing, Ravenwing, or vehicle, each time a model in your unit makes an attack, it adds +1 to the hit roll. So that's kind of handy. Again, this is definitely that opposite to the original detachment for the Dark Angels, where you almost wanted to get Battle Shock so you get better abilities. Armor of Contempt, we all know that one is. And if you don't play Space Marines or know anybody that plays Space Marines, because everybody uses it. Tactical Mastery is the next one that happens in your movement phase. What's that?
I think I know what it is.
Armor of Contempt. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
You don't remember armor. All right. Just to go over Armor of Contempt, it happens in your opponent's shooting phase, and your unit that's being shot at, essentially, that was selected as target, till the end of the phase. Each time an attack is made, you worsen the armor penetration characteristic by 1.
Oh.
So you get a +1 better save, essentially. Is that what you thought it was?
No.
No.
I thought it was something against mortal wounds.
No. All right. So anyway,
Whoops.
Tactical Mastery. It's okay. We all need an update on the rules once in a while.
That's fair.
Every Space Marine army, every detachment has Armor of Contempt in it.
I should really read.
You should really know that one, Mr. Blood Angel. Anyway,
I'm not good with my stratagems yet.
Tactical Mastery. Let's start this again. Your movement phase, one Adeptus Asterius unit in your army is eligible to shoot and declare a charge in a turn in which it advanced. If your unit has the Ravenwing keyword, is also eligible to shoot and declare charge in a turn in which it fell back. All right. We're getting close to the end there, kiddo.
Okay.
Relics of the Dark Age. This happens in your shooting phase. One of your Adeptus Asteri's infantry or mounted unit in your army that has not yet been selected to shoot this phase. Until the end of the phase, add +2 to the strength characteristic of ranged weapons equipped by models in that unit. That is essentially Weapons of the Dark Age updated to the new rules. Missed it, loved it. Thanks for bringing it back. Thank you, GW. Leonine Aggression happens at the end of your opponent's charge phase. Targets one of your units within 3 inches of one or more of the enemy units, or one Deathwing unit from your army within 6 inches of one or more enemy unit. Your unit now declares a charge that only targets one or more units that you resolve that charge. So it's almost like a heroic intervention. So now that even if this is a charge successful, your unit does not receive any charge bonus this turn. Okay, so you basically get into combat, but you don't charge it.
Oh, is it like guaranteed?
That's what it says.
Okay. Oh,
automatically within 3 inches.
Oh, so an automatic 6 is always going to be good.
Yeah. So
an
basically
automatic
that's
3,
for your Terminators.
An automatic 3 is not crazy.
But if you're want to get in there,
Yeah. There's that
one command point, and boom, you're in combat.
Well, that's fair.
Basically, you're going to save your other squad from being attacked.
That's fair.
So I think these are some that we're going to have to try out. What do you think, kiddo?
Yeah, I think I should get more Raveners, and then I can do the. I should get the $5, and then I can do the new detachment. I mean, even in general, the reroll hit rolls of 1.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty good, especially when you got 20, 40 shots at you.
Right. I think so too. So that's about it. Like I said, I think we're gonna hit up the tournament.
Yeah.
Handbook. We'll hit that on another episode, and then there's a couple more things that we can talk about in future episodes. What do you think?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's about it for us for tonight. We thank everybody who did come and watch, and anybody that's going to listen. This will be out on podcast on Tuesday, and we'll see y'all soon. And from us at Table Ready Painting, we're here to help you and your models become table ready.
See ya.
See ya.